Welcome back to another episode of Custom Sports Cards Artist Review from Instagram. I have 5 other artists that I am friends with or have interacted with on Instagram, kind of like their stuff, so I wanted to share them with you. They all kind of have their own unique style. Some of them more than others, some of them completely different styles than what you've seen before. I obviously like them, otherwise I wouldn't be featuring them. Lord knows I don't get paid to do this crap. So my wife says I sound like Kermit the Frog on these videos sometimes. So I got a new microphone. So let me know if it helps my voice at all. It might just be balls in my throat. I have no idea. So just so you guys know, these are short overviews. I finally figured out yesterday how to kind of like screen record and do a FaceTime interview on my phone because I don't have a good functioning desktop, which is surprisingly hard to do. Usually you can record things, then you have to edit them on a desktop or laptop, and I don't want to go that route. I'm sinking enough money into customs and regular cards. I definitely don't want to sink much money into that, but these are just short overviews, so that way they'll be full like half-hour interviews from each of these guys at some point or another. But first up is Blender of Zombie. He's from the Pacific Northwest. I want to say somewhere in the state of Washington. I know he had told me that he has a history of like doing painting and stuff. I don't know if that was his job or not, but he has a unique style with doing sports card art. He has, I believe it's called either a sunburst or a starburst. Somebody had, I noticed that somebody had put something up on one of his Instagram posts, and that's kind of like what they had called it. So I think that's what he calls it. I meant to ask him before I did this video, but I forgot to. I'll probably wait until I'll talk to him about that during the FaceTime interview. But he does definitely a lot more than just sports cards. I love some of the stuff that he's done between the comic book stuff, the cartoon stuff. Towards the end, you'll see a Lucille Ball. Obviously, he did Blender, which is cool. BNC's Blender of Zombie. But I really like his style. His cards are very clean. He makes them work for him. He's just he's definitely got some very unique pieces that he's done. So some I didn't even know about. I was up last night looking at some of his older videos from or pictures from Instagram. So he's been doing it since about 2020, but it sounds like he's been involved in general art for a lot longer than that. Again, something I'll dive more into when I get a chance to do a FaceTime of him. This is one of his videos from Instagram. It looks like that's kind of how he starts off with things. And then you'll see here, he just puts a card over it and trims it up, and there you go. So definitely looks very cool. Seems something so simple and unique, but I have a very strong suspicion that that is not simple. That's for sure. So the color combinations and stuff like that are very hard probably to come up with. So, and obviously that one has motion. He had another Michael Jackson one up, which was really cool, but I actually like this one a little bit better. So I went and used this video for my video. So, but that's Blender of Zombie. Feel free to follow him on Instagram. Really great guy. Does really nice work. All right, so next up is Card Killer. He's a unique guy. I was watching his stuff on Instagram last night, and he has been doing this since 2019 or so, it looks like. He's involved, even before the 2020 project from Topps and stuff like that, and he's on another level. He's messed up. That dude needs some serious Jesus. He's definitely got a warped way of doing things. His art is absolutely phenomenal. This piece here is something that I knew about even before I was in cards. He calls it the Darth Mantle. There's many different variations of this. He's done different numbered sets of this, stuff like that. He has some awesome art pieces. I am very excited to eventually at some point interview him on like a FaceTime interview, because he seems like a very interesting dude. He's from New York City. He's been wanting to get into the art scene, it looks like, for a while, and obviously he's definitely there in sports card art. He's been part of a few different projects, it looks like, but very awesome guy. Very genuine, willing to offer opinions and advice and stuff, and he is definitely a top-notch guy. You guys should definitely follow him on Instagram. All right, so next is Level Up Customs. Him and I have a pretty similar style. He tends to do more, like the patch tends to be more of the background than anything. But definitely like his style a lot, very similar to mine, or mine's very similar to his, because technically he's been doing this a little longer than me. He's been doing it for about a year. He lives out in, I guess, Iowa. So I guess it was either be a farmer, tip cows, or make custom cards. And here he is. So a lot of his work is very nice. Very good cuts, very good combinations. I definitely like what he does as far as just his general overall artwork and scheme. So as you can see right here, like cutting up rookie cards, basically sacrilegious. But so I do like his Instagram videos. He does a little bit more quirky stuff than I do. But another guy who just a genuine dude. I like his stuff. Pretty straightforward, and I think it's simple yet very well put together, if that makes any sense, without sounding insulting in any way. It's certainly not meant to be, that's for sure. So be sure to check him out on Instagram. Another guy that I would definitely try to interview. I'd like to interview all of these guys and more. Next up is Pretty Fly for a White Guy. Him and I talk a fair amount. I want to say he's been on one or two of the live streams I've done on Instagram, just putzing around, and he was texting back and forth, and we talk once in a while. And definitely a very enjoyable guy to talk to. He's from the Pacific Northwest also. He says he's about 80 miles north of Seattle, so I assume basically he's from Alaska. He's got a little different style than I do. He tends to do more themed cards. A lot of looks to be like glitter or construction paper in the background with different like color schemes. He'll do certain themes, like he does one with Seinfeld. He does, as you'll see here, he did another one with the Space Needle from Seattle for a Mariners card and stuff. And I really kind of like that. I actually think that that's something that I should eventually also incorporate in some of the stuff that I do, or at least would like to. So a lot of the stuff that I'm doing right now is for myself. So I kind of want to toy around with some different things. But I definitely like some of the stuff he does. He tends to think he's not as good as he is, but I kind of like mentally, I like where his themes are and stuff. So I definitely respect him as far as that goes. So that's Pretty Fly for a White Guy. Definitely check him out on Instagram. A nice guy. He does some pretty good work. Still doing it every day, looks like. And last but not least is Art by PT. Guy does really, really, really good work. He's roughly my age. He lives in North Jersey. He's from upstate New York. He's basically Canadian. He breaks my chops for being from upstate when I live basically 1 hour or less from New York City. So he's basically a jerk. But his card art, certainly awesome. He kind of like basically dabbles in both the artistic side of things and the cutting side of things, which some people tend to fall in one category or the more heavily. He seems to kind of do a little bit of both, as you can kind of see here. The last card that's going to be in this montage of his from Instagram, as well as the video, definitely caught my eye. I will absolutely and openly admit to be stealing something along those lines at some point. As you can see here, he paints on cards, draws on cards, cuts them up. He does a little bit of everything. It's kind of neat. I have a lot of respect for his wide array of artistry that he has done. But this is the double border, like the two different borders card, and I was like, wow, that's really awesome. So kudos to him for having such an awesome idea. I hope he does more like this. Certainly came out very well. It's a great idea in theory as well. So I think he can do a lot of stuff with this. But just like a lot of these other artists, they all have either something they do generally well or a very specific niche thing. So I think that's the struggle for most card artists or people who enjoy doing this as a hobby, or even for money for that matter. It's just you have to carve your own your own pathway. Like, what do you like to do? Do you want to have a niche? Do you just want to do stuff generally, good? And there's no right or wrong. Like for me, I have a full-time job and 2 other jobs. So this is just a hobby for me. For some of these guys, it's a little bit more than that. Like, they've been in art for a long time, so this is, a bigger deal to them. But Art by PT, I think, definitely nailed it with this one. That's for damn sure. So I hate admitting it to him because he thinks I'm from upstate New York, so I'm gonna have to eventually meet up with him. But no, that's all 5 artists. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely plan on doing another one like this. I'm hoping next week to start doing a couple of interviews with people and recording them. I think that would be more fun, more of like a 20-30 minute like one-on-one session with somebody, and maybe eventually get into live streams and stuff. But I'm still having a hard time. I feel like a boomer. I'm only 42, but I feel like I'm 62 or 72 right now with the way that I'm acting with the technology. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good day.